What's going on, everybody? This is the Silent Gamer, and I'm back with another video. And today we're going to talk about the HD collection of Shenmue 1 and 2. I recently got this the day of release, and I'm just going to give you my thoughts about this series in general. Now, I know that a lot of people have made videos about the entire saga, the story, and they beat into the new versions of this game, and they basically gave a review. But I'm going to give you my thoughts based on somebody who may not know, or from the perspective that I'm talking to someone that they may not know much about the series and what I think about the series in general as well. I've beaten this game, well, both of them. And I've beaten this one on Dreamcast, and I have the Dreamcast copy. I've had this one for a while now, for a very long time. And I have the original Xbox version. Now, I used to have my own copy of this at one time, and I don't know what happened to it. I guess I lost it in a move or whatever. But I was gifted this from a guy, IngravenVids. He is a YouTuber here on YouTube, and he does great work as far as sports games. He's a big Ravens fan. I'm going to put the link to his channel down in the description. Also, I'm going to put his Twitter handle in the description as well. Nice guy, one of the nicest guys that I know. Very generous, and he just gifted the game to me out the blue. And I could not be more, grateful, because I don't know what happened to my original copy. But, that's just another story for another day. This game, the HD version, if you're really trying to find out the big hype about it and everything, the game tells a fantastic story about a kid who's trying to avenge the death of his father. And he just goes on a journey to try to figure out what happened, and he wants revenge for what happened. And you're going to go through the whole series looking for clues and, actually talking to people. It's not that much action in it, and the action that's there is, it's okay. But if you're like new, just trying to get into this, you haven't played the Dreamcast versions of 1 and 2, or you just haven't played, the Xbox version of 2, I'm just going to give you a side of caution. The game is dated. I mean, it is not what you may think it is, like what you see in modern standards. This game, these two games were way ahead of its time. It was like, some people think it's close to Yakuza. I'm not really sure about that. Some people look at it towards like a prequel to a Grand Theft Auto. I don't know. It has elements of those games, but it's more like, without this, the concept of the others probably would never been the way, branched out the way they are now. But I mean, that's debatable. I can't say that definitively. But the game itself, I think the games are great. I have no issue with the game. But if you weren't a person like me who just now starting into learning, if you're, and I ain't gonna say like me, but if you're someone who just now starting into the series, if you pick up this and you're not really familiar with the mechanics from this, you may feel some kind of way when you start playing the game, because the game does have quick time events, and but the quick time events, like I said, the whole mechanic was ahead of its time. So you may do the quick time events, you may feel some kind of way, because it's like, really, it's awkward. The controls are a little weird. I played this right here, and playing it with the Xbox One controller isn't too bad, because I did play this version, and it felt okay, but you can tell that the game was built from a Dreamcast. It's basically made for the Dreamcast controller. And also with the graphics, I've also played these games on a Dreamcast emulator, and they have an emulator out there that's specifically made for Shenmue 1 and 2. And it plays phenomenal on there. But I got the sense of, when I played this, it just felt more like, okay, it just feels like I'm playing it on an emulator. Because when you play it on an emulator, you're more or less probably using the Xbox 360 controller. The Xbox One controller is basically almost the same, identical type of controller. But it's nothing to take away from the games. The games aren't bad. It's just that if you're brand new to the series, if you haven't, gotten the game already or you're on the fence about it, these are the things you may want to look into prior to getting into this. This basically, this right here is basically built and it was made for people who played these or even played the Dreamcast version of Shenmue 2. This is basically built for that. So with that being said, people like me, I have no problem with playing the game, but I can tell from somebody who, let's say, who didn't have a Dreamcast back in 1999, or I think this game came out in 2000. I can't even remember when it came out. Jesus, yeah, 1999, 2000. People who didn't have this game back then, they're gonna feel like, well, what am I playing? Because it's not what you see today. And like I said, it doesn't take anything away from the game. It's a great game in my opinion, but it's just like I know that this game is dated and it passed. There's other games who surpassed it mechanically. Like I said, the way this game looks, you can tell it still uses the Dreamcast assets. It still uses a lot of stuff. I mean, it was built from the Dreamcast basically. They just up-resed it to 1080p, and they had little other mechanics you can do with the game now, as far as language and certain graphical settings, and I mean, dialogue and subtitles. But at the end of the day, this right here, 1 and 2, is basically this up-res. The Shenmue 2 is basically the Xbox version up-res. So if you're like really trying to get into it, you're kind of on the fence, you don't know, you're new to it, you want to know what the big phenomenon is, for $29.99, I don't see why not. But, I mean, if you're just brand new to the series, just beware of what you're getting into. This could be something that you may feel some kind of way about, because I feel like this was built for the people who pretty much wanted this to come out. People have been wanting Shenmue 3, which is now on Kickstarter, and it's a past Kickstarter, and it's coming out next August. This is for the ones who did that. Who contributed to that, who pushed for this. Because people have been wanting a third game, because this game ended off of a cliffhanger, and nobody know what happened. People were wanting to know what happened at the end of Shenmue 2. And it's kind of funny because it had so much potential if it would have kept going the way it did. It would, because they had so many plans for this series. I think it had up to 6, it was supposed to go up to 6 or 7 games. It's just phenomenal what they wanted to do with the Dreamcast at the time. Just imagine if the Dreamcast was still alive. Well, technically it is, but that's another story with the games that still come out for the Dreamcast. But imagine if the Dreamcast did have a longer life, and see what happened, and see what would have happened if this would have went 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games. I just think it would have been phenomenal, but it's just unfortunate that the way that it ended, and but it is great. It's awesome that it's been revived. A lot of people who picked this game up, most of them are the ones who really wanted to play these games on a newer platform, and including myself. And personally, I believe that this game and even the third one honestly belongs on the Xbox. I mean, it is a PS4 exclusive. I have no problem with that. Hell, I have a PS4. I don't play the fanboy. I don't play the fanboy stuff. But just to know that the history behind, the Dreamcast, and, I already did a video why the original Xbox is my favorite console of all time. The reason why I felt like Shenmue 3 just feels more at home with the Xbox. It just, Sega and Microsoft had like this great relationship together, and it would have been cool. But no, nevertheless, the third one is coming out on the PlayStation 4. I'm going to pick that up day one, absolutely, and I'm going to love every bit of it. And I'm almost sure that the game's not going to feel as dated as the 1 and 2. And like I said, once again, I don't think it's a bad game, and it never was. I've been playing Shenmue for almost 20 years, and I love the series, but just for somebody who's just now getting into it, you may feel some kind of way because it feels a little bit, you know, it feels a little bit old. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you guys check out my other videos on the channel. I do have another video about Shenmue 1 and 2 coming to HD. Not much content there, just giving my thoughts about it. No reason to really go back and listen to that one because I kind of gave you the scoop of how I feel about it on this video. So I hope you guys liked the video. If you didn't, it's cool. Subscribe if you want to see more content because I'm going to keep bringing it. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. You guys take care. Peace.